Whenever anybody reads my bio, I'm like, who is that? Thank you so much. As I was sitting there, my watch beeped and it was like, your heart rate is too high, what are you doing? I'm about to speak to the future. I want to thank Columbia University and the School of the Arts for inviting me here tonight. I want to thank you to the family and the loved ones of the graduates for being here and supporting your students. When I'm not writing plays, I'm teaching college students, and I can confidently say that the next generation will continue to show us things we can't currently see and teach us things we need to know. It is a thrill to be here with you all today. From your glowing faces and your anxious eyes, I can see you stand ready to dive headfirst into the world beyond the walls of this campus that you have come to know so well. You've come a long way, and now you are poised to leap into the next stage of your life, equipped with all of the creative wisdom your faculty has bestowed upon you, and I am so honored to be a part of this rite of passage. And I truly hope that some part of what I say will be helpful to you. So, where to start? First thing, the most important and paramount thing in my artistic and pedagogical practice is to do no harm, and I'm going to try to maintain that today. I want to talk to you about beginnings. One of the great joys of my life right now is hearing my little baby cousin, Alexander, laugh. And I'm so struck by how easily he gives over to the pleasure of laughter. And I'm going to play it for you. All right. Isn't that cute? Oh my God. His mother sends me those almost daily. And when I get one of those texts from her, I always respond back with some bold image for his future, right? A life in service, a life committed to medicine, a life in the arts. Because I want whatever this kid wants to do in the future to be available to him. He's right at the beginning, and beginnings are important. They set the pace, they launch, and though at this moment you feel like you're at the end of a thing, you are at a decisive moment of beginning. The first card in the tarot deck is called the Fool. And I convinced my husband to buy my first deck while we were in Paris because I had read this article by Alexander Chi about tarot as a writing tool. The card always is welcomed whenever I'm throwing cards on the table. The card, the Fool, is the card of beginnings. I love it when it shows up for me because it reminds me to begin again, to keep trying, to start from the beginning again, to remember the exhilarating sensation of not knowing what is next. The Fool card depicts a young, hopeful person at the beginning of a journey. They are dressed beautifully, the sun shines behind them, setting while illuminating the path forward. In the Fool's right hand is a staff with a knapsack for travel. The left hand holds a flower, which I've always taken to mean that the Fool values beauty. The Fool has a companion with him. It's a little white dog down in the bottom right corner, and it's yapping at the Fool as if to say, "Fool, you're about to jump off of a cliff, watch out." And I love it because it is a beautiful visual representation of every moment of beginning in my own life. Whenever I encounter this card, I fall more and more in love with the idea of beginning, requiring purpose, companionship, and perhaps most importantly, the ability to move without knowing what's next. Some would say that's reckless. Some would call that faith. But I believe that the beginning of creative imagination is not knowing. And I know this is an unnerving and scary thing to consider, but it has been proven to me to be very true. The moments when I am at a starting place, I am acutely aware that I don't know what I'm doing and what is next. And the thing that has never failed me in that moment is to continue. When it's hard, when it's scary, when you feel invisible, choosing to continue is radical, holy, and immensely powerful. My favorite musical artist released an album recently, and the opening track has these lines. Can we stand for something? Now is the time to face the wind. Covered in peace and love, y'all. Oh, a lot of taken up space. Salty tears beyond my gaze. Can you stand me? When I was invited to speak with you all, I asked myself, what do I believe is most important for artists to know as they begin their practice in the world? And I came to this conclusion. You are emerging into a life as an artist at the best time in a long time, because the slate is clean. What could I possibly mean when I say that? The world is horrible, right? Over the last several years, we've experienced a generational global pandemic and massive social justice uprisings, and we've become acutely aware of how fragile the systems that guarantee us freedom genuinely are. Conflict and strife in every corner of the globe. Old ideas that we thought were relegated to the past have hurtled back with a vengeance. We are robbed of notions of safety and moral high ground and forced to reckon with a history that is both uncomfortable and confusing. But this is a tilling of the soil, the turning over of something used and resourced in order to grow something new and powerful and nutritious. And then there is art itself in crisis. It's expensive, exclusive, inequitable. It is underfunded and embattled by social and political pressure, transforming artists into Jacobs wrestling with proverbial angels of capitalism and trends. Followers, platform, and algorithm tell us what is next. And with that, we have lost our urge for curiosity and our hunger for wonder. All these things are true, and yet, what I see and what history has been so good at teaching us is that seeds are planted in the darkness. You are the seeds. You're building strength and depth. Plants, when they first begin to grow, they grow down first before they grow up. That's a thing you all have spent the last several years doing, drilling down into the rich, black complexity of the beauty of this moment that you're in. Now you have the strength to break through the soil. We need you to make great art. We need you to push the form. Whatever it is that you may do, imagine what can be done with it next. We need you to bring the art closer to our bodies and to our communities and less in our social media feeds. We have always been stronger together than as a sea of individuals fighting for a seat at the top. Yes, the top. Let's talk about her. A mythical place that keeps getting higher and further with every step. I offer to you a different exercise in dreaming. Graduates, close your eyes. Like for real, close them. Nobody's gonna hurt you. What does your best life look like? Who's around you? What are you doing? Take a mental picture of yourself and save it. Now, consider what values underpin that best life. Is it money? Is it virility, community, knowledge? You can open your eyes now. Make your journey about challenging yourself and not trying to attain some nebulous thing you have no control over. Control what you can, your work, your practice, your relationships. There is much that you do command. You are not powerless, although the world may make you feel you are. Establish your own path to becoming the artist you must be, and I say must because I believe that being an artist is a calling and a civic good. To use the language of my discipline, the theater, y'all, Art is a rehearsal for society. And artists at their full power are the actors. They try, fail, embody massive ideas, pick up cues, and author an experience that will one day meet a world in desperate need. As I begin to close out, I love making lists. If you read my plays, there are lists in my plays. I think that they are an amazing way to ground oneself and to be meditative. So I've created a list of things that I hope for you all, the graduating class of 2024. Number 1, disrupt the canon. Everything that was, is, and will be is on a continuum. Get out there and flip some tables. 2, refine your taste and then privilege it. People will consistently tell you what is good or bad about what you make. Make sure you know why it is good for you. 3, get your dopamine from wonder and not from algorithms. Easier said than done, I know. Getting likes feels good, I know. But have you ever seen a baby laugh? Seek wonder. You will age. Allow your art to go with you. Allow time and age to deepen and expand your practice. This isn't mine, but I love it and I live by it. Number 5, plant trees the shade of which you will not live to enjoy. This is so important right now. Make art that's ahead of its time. Develop practices that will improve the working conditions of the people that come after you. Invest in the generation after you, even at this early stage in your career. Number 6, look to your left, look to your right. Don't bother looking up. Never look back. These are your people. The people beside you are the people that will lift you, and you will lift them, climbing as you go. You will make it there faster together. Number 7, there's only 10, I promise. Find an artist that has been forgotten from the past and make it your spiritual practice to revive their work and memory. Number 8, revere popular art with the same respect you reserve for great art. Culture is mercurial and attached to time and history. Hip-hop albums win Pulitzers, and Barbie movies get nominated for Oscars. You can do whatever you want. 9, pay your taxes, save something every week, buy a house with your best friend instead of your spouse, or make your spouse your best friend. They don't teach artists about money. You need to know about money. 10, this is our last one. Surround yourself with people that tell you the truth. Yes, people stunt your growth. You need people to tell you no. You need to know what it feels like to have to begin again. No is not a punishment. It's clarifying. All right? Go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. I share this because you will hear people say no to you. You will hear, not right now. You will hear, it's not your time. Take the sadness, the disappointment, the pain, and fold it back into the work. You reveal more of you when you are vulnerable in that way. To conclude, I want to encourage you, because I know this is a destabilizing moment of graduation. To quote Toni Morrison, you are your best thing. I encourage you to go out and make a mess of it all. See if you can imagine a new world, one we have never seen before. I believe in the human capacity to transform, adapt, grow, and evolve. We are the best thing. We are all we have. So get out there, be the best things, and just watch what happens. I am so excited for you. You're going to change the world. Congratulations, class of 2024. And in the parlance of my industry, break a leg.